why it is that the noble objectives which have animated the growth of the welfare state have produced results that disappoint almost everybody. The people who get on welfare lose their human independence and feeling of dignity. They become subject to the dictates and whims of their welfare supervisor, who can tell them whether they can live here or there, whether they may put in a telephone, what they may do with their lives. They're treated like children, not like responsible adults. And they're trapped in the system. Maybe a job comes up that looks better than welfare, but they're afraid to take it, because if they lose it after a few months, it may be 6 months or 9 months before they can get back onto welfare. And as a result, this becomes a self-perpetuating cycle, rather than simply a temporary state of affairs. For the past 7 years, Maureen Ramsey has had to buy food and clothes for her family out of a government handout. For the whole of that time, her husband, Steve, hasn't had a job.
The jobs around now these days, you only come up with about £45 a week. And then you deduct your stamp out of that, you still finish up with about £39. So what good is it working when you still get the same thing, you know what I mean?
Of course, he's quite right that it may not pay him to get a job now. That's not his fault, and I don't blame him. He's acting sensibly and intelligently for his own interest and the interest of his family. It's the fault of a system which takes away the incentive from him to get a job. The problem of poverty is money.
Right, exactly.
And we ought to have a program under which we assure a minimum level of income, of spending, and then let people spend it the way they want.
Absolutely.
What do you do about people who are poor, whether for their own fault or not for their own fault? You and I and society in general is not willing to see them starve to death.
Correct.
In my book, Capitalism and Freedom, I propose something called a negative income tax, of getting rid of all of the welfare programs we now have, but replace it by essentially a minimum income.